Welcome to Tactics and Touchlines. Today we are on FPL podcast. FPL podcast is surely about the fantasy show where we break down everything you need to know to prepare your team for the FPL. We give you week-to-week updates on what you need to know, players you need to select, and everything you need to know about the fantasy league. It's an EPL initiative, as was being said in our previous video. We are breaking down everything you need to know. Today, people are asking, what is the fantasy league about? The fantasy league is something simple. It's a virtual or a fantasy type of game where you need to select players. When they play in real time, their points are set on the app for you. So you can do mini leagues with your friends. You can join our mini league, which will be very exciting. After the show, I'll give you the code for you to join and also be part of our mini league. So let's go into details, understand what the fantasy league is about, and also tell you what you need to do, especially when it comes to player selection, and what are the fixtures coming up and how would it affect your player selection. We'll break everything down for you. Don't forget to subscribe and also like and share to a friend who is also interested in the fantasy league. Also on this show, we have Game Center, who are giving us some information about what is going on. So you see their flyer. They are running a new promo which is called loyalty or level up your loyalty. Buy 4 games from them and they will give you 1 free game. So you scan the QR code, join them on their Telegram group, and also be part of this excitement offer they are presenting to you. Let's look at the fantasy registration. With the fantasy registration, it's very simple. How to play for the first time. If today is your first time joining, you go to www.thefantasyleague, then you register. The registration process, you don't need an account, you just have to join. Your email, your password is the most important thing you need to get on there. It will ask of your favorite team. So your favorite team depends on the team you support in the EPL. If it's Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, you can go on and select any of these teams. Then after that, you put your email and you move into picking your team. That is where the most important thing comes from. Picking your team is very important because you need to select players you need to be able to build a good team so that everything goes on well. One advice I'll give you is that with the fantasy league, picking teams is very important, especially in the first 7 games, because everybody will go for the top players, the Erling Haaland, the Mohamed Salahs, the Cole Palmers, and other players. But one thing you need to know is that picking your team, you need to have differentials in them so that your point will distinguish from any other person on the fantasy league, in your mini group or on the fantasy app. So let's go into details on how to pick your teams and what you need to do to especially build a good fantasy team this season. So we're picking your team. These are the basics. The basics are very, very simple in picking your team. You have 100 million pounds as your budget. You have to do this. 2 goalkeepers. You need 2 quality goalkeepers to be able to get your team working. So go into the Premier League, know which goalkeepers will perform well, know which goalkeepers you trust that can give you clean sheets, good saving points, and everything. You need 5 defenders in this selection. I would advise that picking your defenders, you need defenders who contribute a lot to goals, assist, and scoring of goals. So pick defenders that would go into assist, defenders that would keep clean sheets and would also add goals to it. So when it comes to defenders, there are some names that you can pick. The likes of Ejinori, you know him from Wolves, who performed so well, and there are some quality defenders, the likes of Mark Cucurella, the likes of Van Dijk, the likes of quality defenders you can pick on there. But you know the defenders you like and know the defenders that would help you. When it comes to midfielders, there are quality players who would add a lot to goals and also make sure they are scoring themselves. So your midfield collection should have players that would add in a lot of goals to your team, a lot of goals, a lot of assists, and making sure that their contribution in games are key to win man of the matches and other things. You need also 3 strikers. With 3 strikers, you need strikers that would give you goals and assists too. So the fantasy league is about goals and assists. Why am I mentioning goals and assists? It depends on the players you are going for. If they are giving you goals as defenders, you are making massive points. Goals as strikers, their points are not that much, but it's okay, especially when you are captaining them. And their strikers, we know, get a lot of chance to get a lot of goals. Some are on penalty duties that would give you also a lot of goals. One thing you can't do is you can't pick 3 or more players or more than 3 players from one Premier League team. So let's say you are entering into Manchester City, you can't pick 4 players from Manchester City team. At least a minimum is 3 per a team. And selecting your squad, you should also remember that everything you are selecting, you have the chance to change during the season. So as the season goes on, you are getting transfers, 5 transfers on a row to make changes. So one advice I would also give you is that don't rush in making changes in the first 3 weeks. sometimes we buy players and in the first week, in the second week, we feel like, okay, these players are not performing well, let me sell them and buy them. Anybody who has been in the fantasy for long will tell you that the moment you sell a player, the performance goes so high to the extent that you would regret selling that player. So I advise that you should go 3-4 weeks to be able to make sure that these players you are having are giving good numbers. Then after the 3rd week or 4th week, you look at also selling those players out. Let's look at some players who perform so well for their clubs in the preseason. So these are tips on players you should be looking at when you are selecting players for your fantasy league. So with these players, we have Osin of Fulham, who as of now is at 5.0 and he has scored 5 goals and assists in preseason. We have Mateta, who is also 7.5 for your strikers option, who has scored 4 goals and 1 assist in preseason. We have Danny Welbeck, 6.5, also for a striker, who has also scored 4 goals in preseason. We have Darwin Núñez, 6.5, as a striker, who has also scored 4 goals. Bowen, 8.0, who has scored 2 goals and also 2 assists. And Marlin, 5.5, another forward who has also scored a goal and 3 assists. So with these players, it's giving you a head start on players you need to select because they're having a good performance from their preseason, and surely they would come into the season with quality performance also. We know some of the players like João Pedro from the FIFA Club World Cup, and also some of the Chelsea players in the FIFA Club World Cup, and also some competitions going on. So that advice I would give you is that be monitoring their preseasons, be monitoring games that they play, the performance they are putting in, and make sure that you can also go into the season with quality players. Some differentials I'll also give you is the likes of Eberechi Eze is a good differentials to pick. Looking at a player like Joan Wissa is also a good difference to pick. Let's look at Kelleher Ford, is also a good differentials to pick. Petrovic of Bournemouth, even though he's not having a good season in the summer series, but is also a good differentials to pick. There are some quality defenders you can go in for. Kyle Walker moving to Burnley, he surely be a starter. That is also a good differentials to pick. So take your time and also do some good selections in the fantasy league. From now to the 15th of August, that is 5:30, you have unlimited transfers, so you can add in players, take them out, add in players, take them out anytime you want. One thing I'll tell you is that the fantasy league is fun, so let's make it exciting. And if you want it to be exciting, you need to join our Telegram group. The QR code is below. You can scan and also join the Telegram group. If you're watching this video from your phone, all that you need to do is when the QR code pops up, screenshot it and later scan it and join the Telegram group. After, you get to join our FPL mini league where the excitement and the fun needs to be. Why I want you to join the Telegram group is every week we'll bring our winner onto the show to have a discussion with them on what they think about the fantasy league, how they were able to select their players and what they did right to be able to make good selections for the fantasy league. Now, to end the show, let's look at our FPL mini league, the code you need to enter to be able to join. And to join the league is very simple. After going through the process, you see leagues, you go to join, you see public and private. Click on private and now you enter this code and also be part of our FPL TT Super League. That is our mini league name. And the code to enter to join is 7KPJLA. 7KPJLA. Enter this and join our FPL. Let's look at some of the fixtures coming up and some selections you need to do to be able to make good differentials among our mini leagues. So the 7 league games coming up: Aston Villa, they have Newcastle, Brentford, Crystal Palace, Everton, Sunderland, Fulham, Burnley. If you see the one labeled in deeper green, means that there are games that are easy for the team to win. The one labels in lighter green shows easy games for them. The ones in white are more of determining the opponents they are playing. The ones in brown show more of a tough fixture, and the ones in red are the difficult fixtures for some of the clubs. So I'll go through some of the clubs, some fixtures, and what you need to do. So as of now, Manchester City are having 2 easy games, that is with Wolves and Tottenham, that are being labeled in green. The next team you would see, Sunderland are having West Ham and also Burnley, which would also be classified as some easier games. Some teams that are having difficult games to play are Newcastle playing Aston Villa and Liverpool. So if you are going for a Newcastle player, you need to be careful there. And also, let's look at Liverpool. Bournemouth also having Liverpool and Wolves. So 1 tougher game and 1 easier game. So if you are selecting players, I would advise that you should go for a Man City player, a Sunderland player, a West Ham player, and also a Leeds or a Brighton player. They are having some more easier games from the start of the season. So this gives you a good in-depth details on how to select your teams. As I said, from week 3 to week 4, that is when you should be making your transfer. Some would wait for the 7 fixtures to go through before they now make the changes. So these are something you need to look at. You can also screenshot this and have them as a guide in player selection and also any other thing. So join our fantasy league and be part of this amazing fantasy program coming up. You need to be part. Come on the Telegram channel, share your views, share your comments and everything, and make sure that you are the one leading on the first week so that you'd also be invited onto this show. Thank you for watching the show, FPL Podcast, where we talk about FPL news and anything relating to FPL.